on AMPLIA, 121 and 130 on Flow, all number 33 on Digicel. Wherever you're viewing us from, we thank you for joining us, and we hope that you will enjoy what we have this morning. We have a pretty interesting lineup this morning. You know, we like to keep it light on a Friday afternoon, so we have some entertainment conversations and the usual sport conversations with Marcus Daniel. But before we do any of that, we head to our news in 90 seconds. And I will be reading your news this morning, and here is what's making the news in 90 seconds for Friday, November 14th, 2025. As anticipation and preparation builds ahead of the upcoming THA elections, political parties on the island are currently engaged in recruitment and screening of prospective candidates. Last evening, the Tobago People's Party conducted its screening exercise of multiple candidates from various electoral districts. Some candidates were accompanied by cheering supporters and entertainment. Leader Farley Augustine stated the party intends on completing the screening process on Sunday, November 16th, with its political leader, Farley Augustine, stating that the full slate should be released to the public by the middle of the upcoming week. Meanwhile, the People's National Movement continued its nightly town hall meeting, revealing the candidate for Signal Hill Patience Hill, Mr. Brian Harris. Speaking to supporters gathered at the Patience Hill Community Center, Harris said he was ready to serve, describing his life as one dedicated to service. Staying on news of politics, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine has chosen to remain tight-lipped on the announcement of the election dates. While speaking to reporters yesterday following the Chief Secretary's art competition at the Shore Park Cultural Complex, the Chief Secretary said, quote, "The date will be 2 to 3 months from yesterday's announcement," end quote. Augustine said he was yet to inform the Prime Minister and the President of the specific date, adding that he intends to sleep, think and pray on it. However, commenting on campaign strategies, the political leader of the TPP said the party will focus on the progress they have made thus far and the development plans for the island spanning from 2025 to 2040. And finally, in some sporting action, Trinidad and Tobago battled against the Reggae Boys last night at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in the crucial CONCACAF World Cup qualifier. In the end, the Red, White and Black Boys ended the night with disappointment after drawing 1-1. At halftime, both teams stood at a deadlock with no goals on either side. However, in the 53rd minute, Jamaica's Ronaldo Cephas gave his team a thrilling goal, moving the scoreboard to 1-0. With tensions high as TNT played on home soil, Kevin Molino scored in the 84th minute, sending the fans into a frenzy. However, by the final whistle, with no additional goals, a wave of disappointment swept over the stadium as the realization that Team TTO will not be advancing. Congratulations to our boys on putting their best foot forward. And that was your news in 90 seconds. So you see, viewers, there, a bit of politics, things are heating up. Yes, the House was dissolved earlier this week, and the TPP has begun their screening at Shore Park Complex. They began the screening last night, and they said that they're hoping to be finished with it by Sunday evening, and then in the middle of the following week, we're going to have the list of candidates, the slate of candidates that will be contesting the elections in early 2026, as well as we see the People's National Movement continues their releasing of candidates through their town hall series. We see that Mr. Harris will be going up for Signal Hill Patience Hill. So things are a bit shaping up, and we have other political parties in this space. We have the IDA, we have the UTP, the Unity of the People, as well as I'm pretty sure that others will be putting their foot forward to contest these elections. We expect it to be hotly contested, and it's going to be one for the books. I think people are anticipating that this is going to be one for the books. We also saw, unfortunately, the Soca Warriors. They didn't make it to the World Cup finals carded for next year, but we know that Trinidad and Tobago's football has been in a slump for quite some time, almost 20 years. We've been really struggling to get back on our feet since qualifying for the World Cup in 2006. This is some progress. We've made it to the final rounds of the qualifying stage. We could look back at this and feel proud of the boys. This is some progress that we've made, and we could only build from here to try and qualify for the next World Cup in 2030. All right, so we have a very interesting lineup to have of discussions to have this morning. And this morning we're going to have on Ms. Shamika Dinoon, who's an event promoter, and she's going to be talking about sisters in culture. Also, we're going to have Mr. Dexter Sandy, who's a promoter, talking about King of the Hill Volume 2. And finally, Daniel Vincent is going to be talking about his receiving the Apple Award. So that's the lineup we have for you all this morning. It's going to be a very light, but still very entertaining set of discussions. So we want you all to do us a favor while we go on the short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Ms. Shamika Dinoon. So do us a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Elderly can't have fun too. We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Before we go into our first interview with Ms. Shamika Dinoon, I must apologize, I'm very sorry. We have to head on to our birthday shout-outs. You know, we can't have the morning program without our birthday shout-outs, and we like to celebrate with those who are celebrating. And first up, we say happy birthday to Miss Tennille Tintin Jack. I think everybody in Tobago knows Tennille very, very well. We wish you happy birthday. God's richest blessings to you, and we pray that you are safe today. You surround yourself with those who love you and shower you with good vibes, good energy, and we pray that you keep God close in everything you do. Up next, we say happy birthday to Mr. Izan Benjamin. Happy birthday, sir. Good morning and happy birthday to you, sir. God's richest blessings to you, and we pray that you stay safe today and you're showered with all great gifts from your loved ones. I know they're going to have something special planned for you, and we pray that you keep God close to you in this upcoming year. Miss Sherian Joseph Hislop, happy birthday to you, miss. Happy birthday to you. Pray God's richest blessings to you, and we pray that you are filled with his goodness and you take some time off to reflect on what he has done for you in this life, and everything that you put your mind to moving forward, you succeed at it. Miss Rosalind Wood, happy birthday. Today is your special day. Yes, get out and celebrate. Go on that special brunch. And have a time of your life. We wish you the richest. Wait a minute. I think I know this lady.
I know we're not.
I know this lady. Happy birthday to you, Miss Wood. This is the mother of our producer, our goodly producer. And you know, he sent up a picture last. It's almost as if he forgets she, you know. It's almost as if he had forgotten her. But us here at Tobago Updates, we make sure that he remembered. Happy birthday to you. I know that our producer is going to treat you so good. He has something excellent planned for you tonight. And you just sit back and relax, and they will take care of you. Ronella and Rustin will treat you very, very good. Happy birthday to you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we like to celebrate with those who are celebrating, whether it's your birthday, your anniversary, you get a new job, you're moving to a new house, you have a new apartment, you're moving to a new country, you have a new phase in your life. Whatever you're celebrating, we want to celebrate with you. So in studio this morning, we have the cultural maestro, Miss Shamika Dinoon. She's an event promoter and a cultural activist, and she's here to talk about Sisters in Culture. Good morning and welcome, Shamika.
Good morning. Good morning to the viewers. Good morning, Tobago.
So, Miss Dinoon, tell us, Sisters in Culture is having an event coming up tomorrow, Saturday the 15th. Just tell us a bit about it.
So, Sisters in Culture will be launching the first ever all-female cast Calypso tent, Tobago Kaisoka Divas, where we not only having Calypsonians, we are also having the females of Tobago showcasing their soca skills. Okay,
and tell us a bit about who we can expect on that cast lineup.
You can expect Miss Janelle Winchester Moore, J Soul, Shari Guerra, Ihana Mafia, J Empress, Aisha Nichols, Anisha James, Crystal Carter, Nicola Phillip, Rolda John, just to name a few.
And I see that you'll have some very special guest artists coming up to,
to
be a part of the tent.
Yes,
you want to keep that a secret, or you want to tell the people?
No, I can tell the patrons. yes, I can.
Go ahead.
And we will be graced by the Caribbean, not just the Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean Queen of Carnival, Miss Terry Lyons.
Okay, and tell me, Miss Dinoon, what really inspired you to get into an all-female Calypso tent?
My inspiration came from, as we know, this fraternity, the Calypso Soca, is dominated by men. Mm-hmm. And I did my survey with females on the island of Tobago, and, you know, sometimes they are feeling sheltered, or they are feeling like they are not appreciated or exposed enough. So I decided to launch this event through my organization, Sisters in Culture. As our mantra say, we nurture women through the arts.
And what was the feedback like from the ladies when you started reaching out to them to tell them what your vision was and what it is you wanted to do?
So let me firstly say this was actually my thesis presentation, the unsung Tobago women in Calypso, those that, you don't hear about, but they have the potential and they are willing and they just want to gain that experience and the recognition. So when I started to call the ladies, they were budding with excitement, and I felt that they wanted that space to say, wow, thank you. They are very excited because, you know, they don't really have a platform to showcase what they can do, because year after year they write their songs, they don't qualify for shows, and that's it. The song, until the next year they try again, and they have been trying and trying and trying. So I said, let me do this initiative to motivate and empower these young ladies to know that there's still hope.
And this is your first year of having this Calypso tent?
Yes, this is my first year. We are launching on Saturday, November 15th, tomorrow, 6 p.m. at the Scarborough Library. However, Sisters in Culture has been in existence for 15 years.
And is there a fee to enter?
It's free to the public. We want the public to come out to see what Tobago has to offer. Our ladies are gearing up to put on an excellent show. Let me mention not only Calypso and Soca. You're going to hear Rapso. Rapso is dying, and
I'm seeing a couple of ladies there that sing R&B as well on that flyer. Can we expect some R&B as well?
No, we are doing strictly cultural Trinbagonian.
Strictly Trinbago.
Yes. We are doing strictly Chutney,
Okay. Well, I know those ladies are very diverse in their performances.
Yes, they are. Yes,
in their
they
catalog, so they could mix and match. You know, you spoke earlier about a thesis about the unsung female calypsonians in Tobago. Could you just tell us a bit more about that thesis? It's really interesting.
I recently graduated from the University of Trinidad and Tobago with my master's in Carnival Studies, and each student, which is mandatory to do, a thesis. So it's Carnival Studies, and I think that me being a student coming from Tobago to Trinidad, I think I needed to do something that is Tobago-centric. Our Carnival is in its 4th year, it's growing, our Tobago October Carnival. So I decided to do something Tobago-oriented, and this is where I have always had a passion for empowerment where ladies is concerned. I like to motivate, inspire, and a lot of these young ladies look up to me because I have been in the art form for a couple years, and
established practitioner.
Yes, I am. Thank you for that. Thank you. So I am like a motivation to them. So I said, maybe I should do something for the women in my thesis. So I began to do my survey, recognize those who are already heard of, and I said maybe I can also do those who are unheard of, because although they are unsung, they have tremendous talent, tremendous. 90% of these singers on my cast are songwriters.
Right.
Songwriters.
And what are some of the, you said you did your surveys and that kind of thing. What are some of the things that you found coming out of the survey?
Coming out of my survey, I realized most of the ladies, they have the passion, they have the willingness. However, they don't have a platform and an avenue to sing or perform their calypsos after the carnival season. Meaning that if they audition for judges' night or they audition for a tent, they are not selected. So they feel very demotivated. So I said to myself, during my survey, maybe I can be that inspiration and that motivation for these young ladies. Also coming out from this survey, I also noted, as I mentioned before, they are songwriters. And if they can write their own song, and this is how Calypso was in the yesteryears, you write your song. To become a Calypsonian, you have to write your own song, pen it, and perform it on stage. So I said to myself, maybe this is what they are longing for, just that avenue to showcase who they are and what they can do.
So we see that we are 4 years into the Tobago Carnival.
Yes.
What is the future of this tent? Do you think that you want this tent to be a part of the Tobago Carnival calendar? And also, what do you think of the potential and future of female calypsonians within the carnival space?
Indeed, this is a growing event. Tomorrow is the launch to greater things to come in the future. So these ladies, the name of the tent is Tobago Soca Divas. So they are going to bring their diva spirits, whether it's in dressing, is in stage presence, stage craft. And this will be a future project, especially on the calendar of the Tobago October Carnival. Therefore, we don't intend to just launch. We want to, take it and do bigger things. Coming up for the 2026 National Carnival, I am in conversations with my Trinidad counterparts, whereby we want to have a clash with the Trinidad divas and the Tobago divas. Right. So we will be capitalizing on that. Also, the John Cupid Carnival Village, I would like to have the ladies experience this because I have experienced this. And I also have, coming up for 2026, female extemporama. I think extempo should be,
This is for the 2026 Tobago Carnival or for the National Carnival?
2026 Tobago Carnival.
Okay, so, I was not about to ask you what plans you have for 2026, but you jumped straight into it. Other than those things, what could people also look forward to from Sisters in Culture in 2026?
You can look forward to, we normally take part in the National Carnival. We do traditional mass. We really want to nurture our traditions. So we do traditional mass for the National Carnival. We also take part in the Best Village and the Tobago Heritage. So we do a lot throughout the year. So with this addition of the Calypso female tent, we intend to also expand. International Women's Days in March, we would like to also have an event so that the ladies can have a great showing and gain that experience and marketing. In addition to this, I will also like to compile all the female songs and have it playing on our airwaves, and we just want to inspire these ladies to do what they can do.
So Sisters in Culture has been in existence for 15 years, and its specific mandate is to develop cultural art forms with our women in Tobago.
In Tobago.
It's been 15 years and you've been existing and thriving. But what do you imagine the next 15 years of Sisters in Culture to look like?
For the next 15 years, I intend for Sisters in Culture to have great recognition on the island of Tobago where culture is concerned, whereby we can nurture the younger ones coming up. So we want to create a performing arts company whereby these students, because this is one of the theater arts is on our, and performing arts is also on the curriculum for schools in 5th form and 6th form. So we want to partner with schools to expand and grow so that the young ladies who are budding, they have a avenue to come to say, all right, I'm in 5th form, I'm in 6th form, what next? This is a stepping stone towards greater development in the cultural art form. And I say, you can have a job through cultural art forms.
Yes.
Through the culture, it is a job. It is a job.
So before we wrap up, you just want to look into the camera there and just give the public one last pitch for the tent?
On November 15th, Saturday, November 15th, which is tomorrow, Tobago Sisters in Culture will be hosting the first annual all-female cast Calypso tent. You can come out. You will be greeted by dancers. We also have Miss Ascala George in spoken word. We have a host of artists lineup for you, whereby you will have a form of not only entertainment, but edutainment. We want to educate as we go along. So come out in your numbers and support us. 6 p.m., Scarborough Library Auditorium. It's free of charge.
All right, viewers, you heard it from the cultural maestro, Miss Shamika Denoon. We have the first ever launch of the Tobago Kai Soca Divas Calypso tent. It is on tomorrow evening, so make your way out and enjoy a night of scintillating music. Viewers, we have to go for a short break, but when we come back, we're delving into some sports, and we'll be talking with Mr. Dexter Sandy, who's going to be talking to us about King of the Hill Volume 2. So do us a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest. We protect. Everyone benefits.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So, even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
How it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna. Better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Before we get into our interview, we have our early birthday shout out going out to Miss Mauricia Douglas Gonzalez. Love coming from your husband and the children as she celebrates her birthday on Saturday. So an early birthday shout out to you, Miss Mauricia Douglas Gonzalez. We know that your husband and your children are going to treat you very, very good tomorrow. So you can look forward to a very, very special day. So viewers, on the line, we have Mr. Daniel Vincent, who is a fitness enthusiast, and he's on to speak about is receiving the Apple Award in the United States. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning, Akilabi. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. So, Mr. Vincent, you won the Apple Award. For persons who don't know, just tell us, what is this Apple Award about?
So the Apple Award is a generation and past, present, future that previous educators like myself actually does a big work to New York, a big work to the community, giving back to the community. Especially it also goes out to teaching, which I'm teaching now. So you all know physical education is one of my biggest joy. So that is where the award is basically about this morning, which I also have with me this morning. You know, one of the biggest token and appreciation being in New York.
So just tell us some of the work that you did in New York City to get you this award.
So being that everyone knows that I do track and field, I'm actually now abroad as one of the main athletic coaches and them within New York, which I am actually staffing with all the athletes and also teaching physical education and working alongside with different clubs that does track and field, does flag football, which is something American. And just last week, they won the championship within New York last week, Sunday, which is our biggest accomplishment for this year.
Okay, and how does winning this award make you feel? What emotions and feelings that you had when you learned that you were going to be a recipient of this award?
So I was actually shocked because I didn't know I was nominated for it. And to expand a bit more on it, it feels joy to see that leaving Tobago, being out here, still doing what I love is an accomplishment. And actually, I'm on the right track still.
So excellent here, and we want to congratulate you for winning that award. So what is some of the future plans for Daniel Vincent? We know that you had something very good going on in Tobago here with extreme fitness. You used to do your punch on the Saturday, the porridge, sorry, on the Saturday mornings. What is this like making that move back up into New York City and settling in there?
Staying focused. Staying focused is one of the biggest things for me because, yes, home will always be home. There's no place like home. Tobago will always be first on the map. I'll always advocate for Tobago, hands down. Extreme, everywhere I go, Extreme Fitness is always branded. Tobago is always being branded. I actually did this Sanford porridge just a couple weeks ago, pop-ups. I was alongside with Jace as well, Jace Barbecue. Shout out to Jace this morning. And few things coming along the line. Just ain't want to put out yet, but definitely the Sanford porridge, also the hike, which was an annual, because you know I was always there. Shout out to Chanel this morning because the hike was such a successful turnout. We had 500 people came out, and it's something that I'll always keep annual. And there's more to come, you know, but all on God timing.
So I know that the Big Apple Award is an award given to teachers that work seriously within the public school system in New York City. What has your experience been like thus far working within the public school system in New York City?
Now, it's different compared to home. And I have a great leadership team, which is what I'm thankful for, that it's different in terms of the structure of how education is, the structure of even sports, which is one of the things that I always wanted to do in Tobago, even knocking on doors, and I'm just like to keep it plain and straightforward. You know, Tobago has so much more to expand, but it also comes from listening to the youths because you can't think in a big back theory mindset when everybody wants to have a nice flat screen TV on their wall. Right? You have to be open with both because both of them have knowledge. Time is changing. Everyone has smartphone. We went to school where we didn't have phones. I know every single body have phones now. So they have to be open to everything. Sports is my biggest advocate where I actually have the opportunity to actually do it. That hey, the structure of sports is different. There are medical setups inboard. There are we do assessments with physiotherapists, which is like a main hub that deals with all the athletes within schools if they are injured, making sure they do their medical checkup. These the mind frame that I am working with, and that's why I would love to push outside when I do return home. Yep.
What do you? So you do plan on returning home to Tobago?
Of course.
I was not going to say in terms of seeing that kind of facilitation for sports development in Tobago. How do you think that will boost the participation and the achievements of our sports persons in Tobago?
The first thing is bringing all the coaches and then together, listening from the coaches, because the coaches are the ones who actually are on are outside in the cold. I'm not heading to it.
Okay.
43 degrees this morning.
Hello, Mr. Vincent. Hello. We seem to have lost Mr. Vincent there. So we see that he won the Big Apple Award for his work in our public schools in New York City, and we're very proud of Danny there. Awi Boy, a son of the soil, doing big things in New York City. Viewers, we have to take a short break, but when we come back on the other side, we continue our discussions in sports. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he lost.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meats served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
I walked in the corner with the body in the store. And so back and this don't make me feel the way I told you know. You already know. You already know. I walked in the corner with the money on my finger. She might get it, but I might watch it for. I
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. Yes, we're seeing there Mr. Dexter Sandy. We have Mr. Dexter Sandy on the line. He's a promoter and he's going to be talking about King of the Hill Volume 2. You saw a promo video there just before we got back to the interview. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning, Akinlabi. Good morning to all your viewers.
So, Mr. Sandy, we're talking about King of the Hill Volume 2. Just give us a bit of insight into what the event is really about.
All right, so King of the Hill Volume 2. King of the Hill is a series that was started last year by the Tobago Motorsport Association. And our mandate is really just to ensure motorsport has life on the island. All persons interested in participating in any discipline of motorsport, that they are able to come through the small clubs that are under us and really get to learn the skill and be able to participate at different levels.
So for those... Oh, so sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and for King of the Hill is a drift discipline. So it's literally cars drifting on the roadway across a designated course for points.
So those of us who may not know much about motorsports, what could they expect apart from drifting? Are there different categories? What could they expect on the day of the event?
All right, so for King of the Hill is a drift series. So it's going to be drift cars only. And these cars are going to be racing against time. And we do have some scoring boxes on the ground. So it depends on where the driver is able to place his wheels. There's where he'll be able to accumulate his points. And at the end of it, he will have that large life-size trophy and the bragging rights, along with a cash prize for King of the Hill 2025.
And I can't remember if you mentioned it before, but what date are we looking to for King of the Hill Volume 2?
All right, so King of the Hill spreads over 2 days. Tomorrow, Saturday, we actually have the meet and greet down at the Barcode. Tomorrow evening at 7 p.m., all the drivers, the cars are going to be there as well. So, the public is free to come out and interact with them. But at that location, we'll be doing the briefing with all the drivers so they get to understand the rules and regulations as it relates to the competition. And full competition takes place this Sunday, Belmont Road. For those of us who are not sure where Belmont Road is, that's the link road between Hope Farm and Mason Hall. And action starts from 10 a.m. until, so the drivers will be there on hand on Sunday morning. They will go through the paces of a practice run. Then they go straight into competition, head-to-head action, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement going to be at Belmont Road this Sunday from 10 a.m.
Now, I know in the past, motorsports events in Tobago used to attract a number of enthusiasts from Trinidad. Is that the same for this King of the Hill event?
Oh, yes, definitely. We actually have competitors from Tobago and competitors who are coming to Tobago from Trinidad. Last year we had a field of about 16. This year we expect to have about 16 or 17 competitors. At least half of that will be from Trinidad. They're going to be coming up on the boat tomorrow. And even this year, we've had a social media influencer called Skunk Lifestyle. He's out of Jamaica. He's going to be here giving some coverage. And he's an international name when it comes to motorsport activities. So all of this in an effort to push motorsport in Tobago and even to push Tobago as a known destination for motorsport.
And I was just about to get into where you saw this event going, because I know as a promoter, you are very ambitious in terms of your goals and what the things you want to achieve. And I was going to now ask, where do you want to take King of the Hill into the future?
Oh, definitely King of the Hill. I mean, it's been promoted by the association and the group. As a group, we have sat and we said, you know what, we really want to make sure that this reaches a regional and even an international level. A lot of guys from up the region, as far as Jamaica, Grenada, they have reached out to us and they are looking at how is it possible to bring in their cars for a competition just like this. And it's something that we're going to work on for year 3. But definitely we have brought the influencer. There are some other persons that are showing very keen interest. They're going to be looking at it online, live on Sunday. And with that being said, we expect to really grow this event over the next 2 to 3 years on an international level.
And in terms of support, because I know in the early days of this THA administration, the Chief Secretary, Honorable Fally Augustine, he would have given you all some support and given you all a space to operate in the early days. What has the support been like from the THA in terms of getting this event off the ground?
Oh, well, the THA's role and responsibility in this has really been to kind of endorse us having access to the road facility, working along with the Trans-Tobago Fire Service and the police service in terms of getting all the relevant approvals. They have really endorsed us and assisted there. We've also gotten support through a bus, which runs a shuttle service from the bottom of the hill to come up. So the spectators have the ability to park and get a ride up to the competition zone, where they'll be able to spectate in a safe environment and really enjoy the day.
I know the Tobago Motorsports Association, you all are looking for a home. You all are really looking for a home. How has that search been going thus far?
Well, we've had meetings over the last 4 years with the administration in terms of the possibilities of having it. The discussions have been positive. but we still are waiting that sort of positive feedback that this dedicated space will be ours. You know, so I'm really hoping that in the future we're able to cross that hurdle and really get a home, because there's so many Tobagonians that represent this island on different levels when it comes to motorsport, in terms of drag racing at international Waller Field Raceway. The guys go down and they race and they compete year on year. The drifters, we have drifters that have claimed national title when it comes to drift competition. So it says that Tobago has natural talent. The guys are doing the right things, and we really need to get a home that we could now invite others to come here and compete against us.
All right. One last set of promotion for your event before we wrap up this interview, Mr. Sandy. Go straight ahead.
Yeah. So King of the Hill, I mean, we're inviting all families to come down, all kids, parents, you know, come out on Sunday at the Belmont Road, get in as early as possible. We would allow spectators to come in at varying points during the day when competition is happening. But feel free to come down between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. We're going to have the shuttle running the service up the hill. Come out with your chairs, come out with your tables if you want to pack your lunches, your meals. Come out and really enjoy the day. It's going to be a lot of action, a lot of smoke, a lot of adrenaline rush happening this Sunday, Belmont Road. It's King of the Hill Volume 2.
All right, viewers, you heard it from Mr. Dexter Sandy himself, King of the Hill, taking place on Sunday from 10 a.m. at Belmont Road. And tomorrow on Saturday, they're going to have their meet and greet. Where's the meet and greet taking place again?
Meet and greet happens at the Barcode on Calypso Rose Boulevard on Saturday, tomorrow, 7 p.m. So you could come out and check out the cars, get your pictures, get first-hand view of the competitors.
All right, so just in case you can't make it on Sunday, you could come out on Saturday evening at Barcode and get a picture of all these cars. You know, these cars are very fancy. They're souped up. All kind of gadgets on these vehicles, so it's always a sight to see. We wish you the best of luck over the weekend, Mr. Sandy, and we wish that the event grows from year to year.
Thank you.
Okay, viewers, unfortunately, we have come to the end of our programming for the Tobago Updates morning show. And up next, we have Beneath the Surface with Rhea Richardson-George, and she is on the line to speak with us. Good morning, Miss Richardson-George. How are you?
Hey, good morning to Akinlabi. And Rhea is just fine. We could skip the Richardson-George just for this. All right, I'm doing very well this morning.
So who can we expect on the show this morning?
Well, you know, Akinlabi, we've had quite an interesting week. In fact, 2 weeks. We've come to the end of the second week. And on the show this morning, we will be chatting with Assemblyman Ian Pallard. He's going to be on the program with us, and we're going to have some insight into, you know, some of the accomplishments, achievements, and we want to get some of the regrets, if any at all, and as well some of the goals for the future should he be offered up for re-election.
All right, so it proves to be a very interesting and in-depth interview, and we can't wait to hear what comes out of it. So viewers, Beneath the Surface is up next with Rhea. So do us a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. Beneath the Surface is up next.
I would say that the most memorable aspect of this whole experience is here at the workshops. When you are performing, you basically perform, you're on a schedule, and you leave. So you hardly get to interact with the other countries and their contingent. Here at the workshops, we are intermingling, intertwining. We get to learn more of the culture at the workshops. So this, for me, is more memorable.
My experience has been great. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I really enjoyed my performance at Old Town most because it was an open concept and it had passerbys recording in the cars and stuff. I really like that. I really like the exposure.
Let me tell you, these young people are talented. They're singing, they're dancing. Quick, so they're making their costume changes and they're really bringing the vibe. Our sound engineer, which is behind me, he was really blown away with rhythmic vibrations. He keeps talking about them. You know, they're not shy, they're vibrant, they're energetic, the drummers, the singers. They really brought the spirit of Tobago to Carifesta.
So today I launched the book The Tides Reclaim at Carifesta 15 here at Barbados. I'm at Cape Ellery campus for part of the UE Symposium where I did the book launch.
The same way you want to find love.
It was wonderful. You know, this book is a romance novel, but the underlying theme is the tide reclaims, has to do with the environment, with climate change, with nature. And I was really happy that people were able to engage and have a discussion about it because it's a topical issue and it's something nice for book readers.
I'm very excited. Number one, I think one of the talking points was climate change, right? So I'm excited to read about that in the book, as well as the romance theme, because again, like we understand, we don't really have as many romance books within the Caribbean, and so it's a good fit, I think.
Well, I'm very glad to see, because arts literary arts is obviously part of the entire pantheon of arts, and to be quite honest, I think sometimes it is pushed aside compared to visual arts, compared to theatre arts. So I'm very glad that there's a sort of a push to put it in the forefront.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
It's a brand new morning, rise
Tobago, and welcome this morning to GMT Beneath the Surface. Straight talk, no chaser. We're talking about year 4 in administration. Our guest this morning on the program, Assemblyman Ian Whitey Pollard. Yes, definitely. Secretary for Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development. Really happy to have him on in our company this morning. Good morning to and welcome to you, Assemblyman Ian Whitey Pollard. I have to put in the Whitey Pollard.
Yes, yes. Good morning, Ian. Good morning to your viewing audience. Those on the World Wide Web. And to especially the persons in Mason and Mariah. I want to humbly apologize to them for not recognizing them in the House in the last sitting on Wednesday. I know they have stood behind me for the last 5 years, since 2021, January 25th. And I humbly apologize for not recognizing them in the House. So this morning I want to say I thank the people of Mason and Mariah for electing me the last 2 elections. And once given the opportunity again, I know they will elect me back into office.
All right. Very confident we see, and we're going to talk a little bit later on in the program about what you've been able to accomplish within that electoral district to have that vote of confidence that they will put you back in office. All right?
Yes.
All right. So let's get into things this morning. 4 years. 4 years you've had your feet wet, so to speak. Give us an idea of even before the 4-year period. In fact, just as you got in office, what is it about politics that you understand now that you did not understand or did not even know about when you entered the doors of politics?
It's not that I didn't know about it. I've been in politics. Next year will be 50 years. I've been in politics since 10 years old, leaving primary school into high school. And, you know, from my experience, I worked mostly in the private sector. And I was always adamant that the public sector is too slow to get things done. And then when you get in there, you now realize that, whoa, this is really a snail. It's like you're on a snail back because there's so much hurdle, so much, yes. And I'm not accustomed to that pace. I'm accustomed to getting things done in the shortest possible time, especially when you're bringing relief to persons. So it was an eye-opener to me to actually see the pace that things go. I mean, you have persons who are in this space who probably not of your political persuasion, deliberately doing things to slow you down and stopping you from delivering to the people that you're elected to serve. And that was really an eye-opener for me, and hoping, because you're going there with all the enthusiasm that everybody will come on board. It's about a life change, it's about bringing services to the people. But I guess this is the cut and thrust of politics. That's where you're going to meet wherever you go, that some persons will deliberately do things. So that was one of the things that really took me back, you know, and I wasn't accustomed to that kind of things coming from the private sector.
All right. And before politics, before walking through the halls of politics, give us a little background. What were you involved in?
Well, first, I was an athlete with the Zenith Club from age 9. I led the Tobago Cub Scout to the first Caribbean Cubbery held in Barbados. I was a footballer with Signalist, Senior Comprehensive, winning major trophies like the Intercol title, the Pride title, the League Cup. I played for Sinclair Coaching School.
That was back in the day.
Those were the days. I coached Mason Hall from a football team. And at the tender age of 18, I was started as their coach. I went abroad on football scholarship, where I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Accounting and a Bachelor of Arts in Economics. I actually, next 9 days will be 38 years. I had my heart surgery and continued playing sports no matter what. And
alive and well.
Alive and kicking. And I've always been involved in my community. In everything that we do in the community, I've always been alive. They're supporting in any way. You know, the Mason Football Club, getting them promoted to the Premiership Division for the first time in history in Tobago. And then always having a love for politics, always want to serve, but always wanted to do it from in the background. But when I was approached by our then leader, Mr. Watson Duke, on several occasions, and Mr. Augustine, you know, I shied away a bit, and then I usually get up in the morning like 3 o'clock, look at the different situations, and started to count from house to house how many votes I'll collect. Because I know I'm a household name on the north, because everybody knows who is this black man they call Whitey.
The black man that they call Whitey. That's right.
Yeah, so I was always looking at the perspective of, okay.
Is that how you got the name?
I got the name in first form in 1977, but I wouldn't get into that at this, at this point.
I'm sure viewers have always been interested. How did the black man get the name Whitey?
Yes, they have always been everywhere in the world that I went. They are always interested, but I've always had a love for politics and serving the people because I think Tobago we deserve better, and we need leaders in our community that will actually give rise to persons, accentuate into higher levels in their lives. But I mean, nothing happened before your time because I understand that since way back, I came back here in '92 after graduating, worked with Mr. Hochoy Charles, worked with Ashwood Jack, and then I thought it was time now to throw my hat into the ring. But I know I was confident from day one. And the people of Mason Almora, they supported me, and I thank them. I thank them so much for trusting and believing in me. We have started a journey, and I would like us to continue because we have not accomplished all that was set to accomplish.
What was one lesson that you learned having served under Hochoy Charles, the late Hochoy Charles?
Well, the kind of belief he had in Tobagonian, the belief that you have to have, because I mean, I walked from Palatine to Mason with Mr. Charles, Mr. Jack and I, Ashwood Jack, as young men. But this love, this desire to see Tobago on its own, that we could run our island on our own. And that is still the forefront of my mind from his teaching, because from the days of Mr. Robbins in 1976, we could stand on our own. We just have to believe. We're going to fall, we're going to bruise our knees, we're going to bruise our elbows. But we're going to get it right, like any other island who's on their own. Now you're hearing about oil and gas finds off the coast of Castara. Millions of dollars. Imagine what that could do for us here, instead of just getting a percentage. So we just have to believe as a people that we could do it. We have enough educated persons abroad, we have educated persons here, that we could chart the course for a better future for our young ones, our future generation.
Okay.
So I wish that the day will come that we wouldn't have to get a percentage of a budget, but we could actually run our own house. Okay. But for the meantime, we'll take it step by step, and eventually we will get there.
All right. We're still interested in how you got the name Whitey.
I'll have to come back on the next show to let you know.
We want to get that. We so want to get that. All right. Excuse me. We're going to get right into things at this point. Now, Assemblyman or Secretary Pollard, back in March of 2022, you had announced a draw of almost 70 parcels of land at Belgarden, Blenheim, and Riceland, with a goal of delivering over 500 parcels of land and houses. Looking back, how many parcels, houses were actually delivered, and what caused any shortfall?
Well, interesting. I've been able. The division, we have been able to give out 200 parcels of land thus far.
And this is 200 of the
lands, not housing, just lands.
Okay.
Because I just gave out some last Friday. And we are hoping to start construction in 2 housing sites, 130 units at Riceland and 120 units at Adventure. Now, you're coming into office and you're thinking that, okay, the monies will be available for you to accomplish these goals. But it was a plot and plan of the PNM to not fund us to construct these homes, because I've been in settlements for almost 4 years, and the PNM government gave me $4 million in 4 years. In 2012, the PNM received from the People's Partnership Government $108 million to construct homes for Tobago and Tobagonians. Now it's PNM here, People's Partnership in Trinidad. Now it's TPP here, PNM in Trinidad, and refuse. And in the meantime, $2.something billion was spent in housing in Trinidad in the last 4 years. So I want Tobagonians to understand that, to hear me and hear me well. And to add insult to injury, I came into office and there was a grant by the IDB to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And one of the reasons why they approved the grant is that they had to do a project in Tobago. And the PNM government at that time, administration led by their leader here in Tobago, they identified the Riceland housing project. Yeah, $20 million was given to the central government to do the housing in Tobago. and it was withheld from the Tobago House of Assembly. It's only in the advent of the UNC in office that Minister Sawat Singh made it known that the $20 million US dollars is still in Trinidad, and they were about to move it, had they win election, to do 2 projects in Trinidad, one in Diego Martin and I think one some further in the east.
And you're saying nothing for Tobago?
Nothing for Tobago was planned. So the money is there. We have to utilize it before April of next year, otherwise it will go back to the IDB. So now they are making all arrangements through the Chief Secretary and the Secretary for Finance so that funding could come. That is delaying Tobagoans from getting homes. It was supposed to do the infrastructure of that project. So Tobagoans, we have a database of almost 10,000 persons, and you're denying Tobago 20 million US that was just sitting there languishing in Trinidad, and we are here you give us $4 million over 4 years.
Certainly some questions to be asked there.
Yeah, well, that is water under the bridge for me. I hope that the minister could make the money available in the morning, because what we did, seeing the delay, we have sent out that same project for a design build finance, where the contractor will bring his own money into the space. And a contractor have been selected. The contract has not been signed as yet, but as soon as it's signed, it will take 20 months to deliver these 130 units for persons here in Tobago at Riseland.
20 months.
20 months.
And this is a promise you are sitting here making to the people of Tobago?
This is something that will be written in the contract. 20 months to deliver 130 townhouse units. Because
what location?
For Riseland.
Riseland.
We cannot afford to give everyone a single unit, 5,000 square feet. We have 10,000 persons. We have but so much lands.
Right.
So Tobagoans have to get to that place where, you have townhouses, you have duplexes, you have high-rise.
And that is unheard of for Tobago.
That is unheard of, but that is what, because...
And that's the direction that we're moving in.
That's the direction we have to go to. Because you have young persons getting married and have to put on a room downstairs, their parents' home, and you cannot be a man or a woman living home by your in-laws. I always say it.
Very true.
You go on your own and you'll have your ups and downs, but you sit down there and you trash out what you have to trash out without a third party getting involved. So Tobagoans have to get to that place. Another place Tobagoans have to get to is the use of alternative material. We cannot use concrete and steel. It is too expensive. And the world is moving ahead. Guyana is flourishing with these alternative material homes.
How does this stand against, God forbid, a hurricane?
It is tested against hurricane. It is tested against earthquake. So it's not just any material you're bringing, but these materials are tested.
So this falls under low-income?
Low-income homes. Yeah. But what do we call low-income? We are trying to keep it under 500,000 or 600,000. But now to construct, the cheapest unit we are constructing now will be about 800,000. And mind you, for a house of around $1 million, Mr. Bobby Andrews from the Planning Division has done the calculation. You have to have a salary of over $23,000 a month to afford that. How many Tobagoans are working for $23,000 a month? So we're in a catch-22, we're in a bind. And especially, what about those persons on the lower level income bracket? The CPEP, the RRP workers, afford? That is it.
So automatically it would exclude a certain...
And that is why we have to come up with measures to provide for these persons on the lower end.
Okay.
I have quite a few suggestions because we have been approached by many contractors who could do things cheaper, faster in the space. But I think a home is a home. People will accept anything at this point in time. Not shoddily built. Once it is built and designed tastily...
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
I know that it's better because you have the complaints that $3,000, $3,500 per month. It's better they pay their own mortgage.
Are there checks? What has your division, what measures has your division put in place to ensure, even as you mentioned here, $3,000, $3,500, there is a mortgage to be paid by these homeowners, yes? Has that been happening, one? And what measures are in place to ensure that it happens? Well,
we at this point in time, I'm here advocating today because we are at the advanced stage of each contract that persons go and get pre-qualified by their financial institution. You see, what used to happen before is that everybody's thrown into the pool and a draw is made. But some persons are pre-qualified for $250,000, but your unit might cost $500,000. So when your name come up, you're all happy. But when
However-
reality hits that you cannot afford, you are taken out of that and given the house or the parcel of land is given to somebody who could afford.
So your name goes back into the pool.
It goes back into the pool. But what I've implemented is that, with the blessing of the Executive Council, is if the units are costing 800,000, only persons who are qualified for 800,000 and above will be in
enter
the draw.
Okay.
I am not about the prospect of mama guying persons or giving you that inflated feeling of happiness that, okay, man, I got piece of land, I got a unit, and you cannot afford to pay it.
Okay.
We just have to devise means for those persons who are under the sale price of these units to provide for them.
But are there measures in place to ensure that persons pay this mortgage? In years gone by, when we talked housing in Trinidad and Tobago, and this may have been before Tobago was exposed to that, because people in Tobago grew up with land. Grandpa left land,
Yes.
so mommy build here, uncle build there, and you got a piece in the back of mommy say, well, there's a piece
From the
down in the
mango
back,
tree to
right?
the Capamara
That's
tree,
right.
yours,
So
yes.
that's yours. So we are now being familiarized with the idea of low-income houses and having to pay that type of mortgage. What measures are in place by your division to ensure that persons who have been successful adhere to the rules and regulations and...
Well, they don't pay to the division. You see, what we do is that they go and secure their mortgage.
Right.
So all we give to the contractor is a list of pre-qualified persons. The bank pays for the home, and then they now start to repay
So
the bank.
all of this is dealt through the bank?
Bank, yes.
The
Everything
lending,
is done
the,
through
the
the bank.
money lending agencies?
Yes, whatever institution. So that is why I'm telling persons from this morning, go and get your pre-qualification done. I've had meeting with nurses, defense force, fire services, a number of persons, and to the general public who normally comes into the office to see me. Go and get pre-qualified.
Okay.
See how much you qualify for, to see if your name will be put in this drawer, and bring in this information so we could now add you. Even though you're around 700,000, we're asking persons to go and get pre-qualified, because if the units are going to take 20 months,
You have time.
you have time. And I try to advise persons, Ria, do not be persuaded to purchase a motor car at this point in time if you are looking for a home. Put off buying the chair set and the new fridge for Christmas.
See the bigger picture.
According to old people, canter with what you have. And put things in place so that you could afford yourself or make yourself available so that you could be selected for one of these units.
All right. But we're going to continue chatting, viewers, this morning. It is Straight Talk, No Chaser, Beneath the Surface with Assemblyman Ian Whitey Pollard. Join us just after the break.
To a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor.
Hair goals, we've got 'em. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam. You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash in transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Viewers, welcome back this morning. It is Beneath the Surface, straight talk, no chaser. Still chatting this morning with Assemblyman Ian Whitey Pollard. Now, Assemblyman Pollard, when you came into office under the PDP ticket, you then moved to the TPT ticket. The slogan back then was, the electoral slogan back then was, "Let we fix it."
Yes, it was.
What did you have to fix within the Assembly that made that slogan even more valid for you?
Well, like I said, it was visionary by the then leader, Mr. Watson Duke, that all the shortcomings that we saw when you were on the outside, that the former regime was not providing to the people of Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
And coming into office, I went to a division that had no structure, didn't have no policy, or even though the policies were outdated. So coming and have to restructure and to change things to a modern functioning THA. You know, you had to get the buy-in by some folks. Some folks gave the resistance, but it's something that we had to do because there are so many things that had to be fixed here that we think that Tobago was being shortchanged. And had we gotten the financial assistance from the central government then, we would have been able to adjust most of these things. But because we were woefully underfunded, some of them are still yet to be fixed. But I know under the new slogan, making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet, we are seeing we're getting much more buying by everyone because you have a sense of pride. Because words do have power, words do have value. Mm-hmm. And that is more encouraging, and we hope that everybody could buy into it that someday to make this place the greatest little island on the planet.
All right. Let's talk about some of the accomplishments. Two of your major accomplishments within the division. What would those two be?
Well, so far there, as customary events, we have been able to distribute over $22 million in grants to the people of Tobago. We have fostered relation with Habitat for Humanity.
Mm-hmm. And these are home repairs?
These are home repairs, almost $3 million. I think I got a message yesterday from Ms. Masai, the regional director, because we are embarking on a program where we want to work along with self-help, URP, and Habitat for Humanity to do lots more home repairs, roof repairs, mm-hmm. at a value that probably $30,000 or $40,000. So we're hoping to improve the homes of persons here in Tobago, because some persons are living in a deplorable condition. And the establishment of the Tobago Urban and Rural Housing Company, headed by Ms. Alicia Duke, who I must say I'm very proud of the entire board of directors, because it's hard running a company with all the employees employed in other divisions in the THA. It's not like EIDCOT, who has private citizens running that company. Mm-hmm. So you have these board of directors having to do their works in their division and now have to come to run this company. But they have grown leaps and bounds. So we are at the stage where we are of doing 3 contracts before the election is called, comes up on us, whenever that is. But we're hoping that these 3 contracts could be offered, issued, so we could start works. Because once the contract is signed, Lyria, I want to say to the Tobago public this morning, under the Executive Council or guidance from the Executive Council, we will draw for every unit that will be built to 250 units. Because Tobagonians, it's time that you'll be happy, time you feel comfortable in your land, that you own piece of Tobago. So we're not gonna wait until the units are constructed. A draw will be held in December for all 250 housing units and for the 50 parcels of lands in Adelphi and Masonol. So we're gonna have 300 happy families in Tobago, and could be more before the election comes upon us.
All right, and that's something, you said that's happening in December.
Yes. Once the contract is signed, the draw will be done.
You say it almost as though persons can take it to the bank.
Of course, because that's the mandate we got from the Chief Secretary. It has to be done. Because in Trinidad, you have developments taking place, and before they even scratch the ground, the draw is issued. We are not waiting. And what the mandate we have for the contractors, we are not building and keeping homes to distribute in no grand fanfare. You build 20 units, they are complete, we give them out. So persons could even move in right away into these units.
Okay.
So I'm saying within 20 months after the construction starts, these units will be drawn for.
Okay. I want to go back a little bit to the grants here. Now, you've publicly raised concerns about the misallocation of grants. And, for example, vehicles being brought with grants intended for home improvement. Give us an idea this morning, what internal controls or audit mechanisms or sanctions were introduced under your leadership to reduce abuse or leakages?
Well, I have had serious meetings with my engineering aides who usually go out and do the inspection of the persons who are requesting these grants. And they follow up, because whenever you ask for the grant, you issue the check to make sure that the work is being done. And their feet have to be held to the fire, because they are the one to ensure that public's money is being spent properly.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I met there, the process was a bit lengthy. So I know that some families might have gone ahead and started to do their own things before they receive the checks. And we know that some things may pop up. Okay, you have hungry kids at home. You just received a check for $25,000. You will obviously take some of that to provide grocery. But the onus is upon the engineering aides at the division to make sure that the work that is being done, that the money was given for, is being done.
Yes.
And it's a bit, we made that situation where it fall down, where some of the engineers probably haven't followed up on the situation. So we have their feet being held to the fire now that they must report, they must follow through with these persons who are requesting these grants. We can't eliminate everything, because up to recently, it happened where someone was confiding in someone that he applied for this grant and he's going to take it and buy a motor car. When my assistant secretary heard it, he was fuming mad, because you wonder why people are doing this, and persons who really need the grant, they're not reaching. But I traveled to Jamaica and St. Vincent to look at their housing program, and RIA, those countries you receive one grant to renovate your home. Maybe, I don't know what the dollar value, maybe let's say about $50,000, $60,000, and you're out of the system. The onus is upon you to maintain your home. But we have persons who have constructed a home from the settlements division. Every 5 years, they're back into the system looking for a grant.
So how do we mitigate against this type of activity?
Well, it's a policy that has to be taken. It's a policy that.
So it should be a one-time use.
It should be. That is.
Whether for building or repairs.
Yes, it should be, because you have more and more people falling through this level of poverty in Tobago. But if you want, you just got a grant to change the ceiling. You want to change your windows to French windows, you apply for a grant to get. No. What about the person whose children are falling through the floor? What about the person who rain is coming through the ceiling and wetting them?
It should be on a needs basis, a priority.
Yes. And that is how it's supposed to be. But it was a program that was abused from before. You know that persons in Tobago here, certain persons used to collect $100,000 grant check coming up from Trinidad, but for certain individuals. Not through the system of the settlement division. So we are trying all how to mitigate it.
Is this under the current?
No, under the former.
Okay.
Because
you needed to be clear.
Yes, under the former regime. But we are trying to make it equitable. We are trying to make it that you get your grants in 21 days, your first grant, so that you could buy your material. We are even studying to take the entire grant, purchase the material, give you to purchase the material, make the checks out to the hardware, and you pay the labor.
That's also an option.
That's also an option to mitigate the fact that persons are using the funds to do something that they shouldn't be doing. But that will have to be an executive decision, and we are looking at that because we can't have person abusing public funds.
Okay. And now I know that I did ask you about two of the major accomplishments. You mentioned one of them being the grants program. And what would be the second?
The establishment of the housing company. Because divisions or ministries don't construct homes. It was so relevant at this point in time to introduce a company on the landscape that will deal with housing. They could focus on housing because that is a growing need about Tobago, because a home is an essential thing. A housing is necessary. And we cannot just sit here every year, get $1 million each under each of the grants program. That is not for housing. So now that we have that in the space, I think that is a great accomplishment for this dispensation, the TPP, that we could have a company solely concentrating on the construction of homes. Because, mind you, these two housing developments in Riseland and in Sherburne and Adventure, $300 million will be brought into the space in Tobago, beside what our budgetary allocation would be. So it will bode well for some of the contractors, some of the plumbers, the laborers, the truck drivers, the equipment owners. But these people are bringing their money into the space. So that will add to whatever we have as a budgetary allocation into the land space. And there are so many other contractors and developers who are willing to come into the space to spend their own money.
Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about public utilities here now. The Public Utilities Department within your division is mandated to facilitate efficient delivery of services, including rural electrification. What have been the major improvements in utility service delivery, electricity, street lighting, water, inspection, certification under your watch, especially in remote and underserved communities?
Well, we are doing our best, because I would like to say to Tobago this morning, since I've been at the division, our budgetary allocation for electrification and street lighting has been $500,000 each line item. So I get $500,000 for street lighting, $500,000 for electrification. Now, mind you, from Delaford to Charlottesville, electrification costs $987,000. And you only allocated $500,000. So the Chief Secretary, in his infinite wisdom, used some of his funding from under his OCS and did that. We're also looking at lighting from Mount Dillon Hill right into Castara. But how much could $500,000 do?
How far can it get you?
How far did it really get you? So we still have to go through the normal process of after we pay for these jobs, Trinidad has to give the permission for these jobs to be carried out. So we are hoping that we could shorten that time, because persons are really in need, but we are doing the best with what little we are given. And it is woefully inadequate. I had discussion with the minister in my first meeting, and he's willing to partner with us, even though our budgetary allocation is only $500,000, to see what could be needed. Because we see some beach area that we think that illegal activities that take place. No lights, King Peter Bay Road, Golden Lane. We need to put electricity in these places.
I'm passionate about Windward Road.
Of course. Even
Studley Park.
even some of the street lights on the road, because the repairs of the street light, we don't have to pay. It is done automatically by TNTech. But you find, I don't know, with the surge in electricity these days, a lot of the street lamps are not working.
Yeah.
So we do have monthly meeting with Mr. Giles and Mr. McCarty and their team about bringing all these issues. But like I say, it's the availability of things coming to Tobago. But we have a good relationship with Minister Padarat. So we hope to adjust all these things that we could at least bring relief to persons. We are working on the relationship with WASA, because, they, just like us, are suffering for underfunding. Because up to this morning, the manager called me and asked me if I could get a backhoe and a truck to send to lend him. There's a big leak at the food hub. I told him, advised him to call Secretary James, because he has equipment under his division that could do that. But what is happening is that the contractors that they would hire in Tobago, because of shortage in funding, cannot pay these guys, and they're withholding their services.
Right.
So we have to work together in order to deliver these services to Tobago and Tobagoan. So it's a funding issue. It's about utilization, but we're hoping that we could get the assistance from a friendly central government now that we could get these things done.
Okay. And we have the issue here of WASA water shortages. In chatting with our Assistant Secretary Tate, it's a lot.
It is not going to get better.
So what measures can be put in place? Now, you're saying here it's not going to get better.
No, because from where I sit here, I grew up in Masonol, and we have most of the rivers passing through Masonol.
Mm-hmm.
But you will see moss in the river in the dry season. You know that the water supply is getting low. But recently I was at Colon River and I'm seeing moss in the river in the rainy season. So it's telling me next dry season. In fact, we can't control the weather anymore because this global warming. So the dry season might be more rain than we got in the rainy season.
That's right.
But from my knowledge, I know it might be tough, and I try to encourage persons buy water tanks. Because as Mr. Williams often said, the water level from WASA is falling in Tobago. We have talks of doing some desal plants, because I know they're going to do one in Charlottesville. I had talks with Minister Padarat about doing two more. We must do one in Studley Park area. That, as Mr. Williams suggested, will feed the Hillsborough Dam, and we could pipe it down to Kong Point, down to the western end of the island. So it's need for these desal plants throughout Tobago at this point in time. Okay. Because we cannot be thinking of all these development, be it housing, hotels, car racing facility, and don't have water.
Go ahead.
Many days I have to call Mr. Williams at WASA and say, listen, the people at Store Bay are looking to close their shop, and we have to refund them for the day's sales or whatever activities because there's no water. And he has to hustle to send truckborne water down to Crown Point. But in planning all these big projects coming on stream, we have to have adequate water supply.
Okay. All right. Very quickly here, what are some of the measures you have put in place for to ensure customer satisfaction or citizen feedback for the utilities component?
Well, they could. What we have is that you could always come in and speak to the utilities unit. Is not fully built out because just Miss Delia, Jerry, and probably one other staff. But as we are transitioning to do other things, I think we did a note so we could have a full complement of staff, so the public could address whatever concerns they have.
Okay.
But for now, we only have 2 members of staff in that unit, and we're hoping that with the start of the new year, that we could have more staff to deal with most of the concerns of Tobago and relate with WASA or TNTEC of their concerns.
Okay. But we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, viewers, we want to hear a little bit more about what's been happening within the electoral district. All right. Assemblyman Pollard will share with us as well. We want to have an idea of some of the regrets and maybe some of the goals should he be re-elected. And of course, the grade that he would give himself at this point in time after the 4-year period. All right. So join us after the break. It is still beneath the surface. Straight talk. No chaser.
TNTEC is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTEC bills, request new connections, and more. TNTEC, powering the nation into the next generation.
is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to GMT's Beneath the Surface. Straight talk, no chaser. Year 4, chatting with Assemblyman Ian Whitey Pallard. Now, just before we took the break, of course, we were talking about some of the accomplishments within the division. We'd like to have an idea now at this point about some of the accomplishments within the electoral district. Mason Hall, Mariah, let's talk a little bit about that, Assemblyman Pallard. What do you have to blow your horn about, your own horn about within the electoral district? What is now in place that did not exist before your 4-year term?
Well, we have the flagship project in what I call the north side, Mason Hall, Mariah, is the King Peter Bay Hill Road that had 192 steps. That
almost went, not almost, quite a few assemblymen have spoken on.
Yes, and they still said that no steps couldn't be constructed there, or no road couldn't be constructed there. But in my first advent and in 2020, when I started campaigning, first time I've been up to Bay Hill. And I oath to the persons that a road will be constructed after we get into office. When it was 6-6, my good friend and colleague, my schoolmate, Secretary James, I took him there because I was a project manager. And I asked him, do you think we could construct a road here? He said, Paul, that road could go anywhere. And once we got into office, come December 6th, it was one of the first projects because the road started caving in and person couldn't access their homes on the hill. And for those persons or those assemblymen who passed or representatives before me who said no road can go there now, some of them are now driving, going up there and asking these residents for their votes, to vote for them. But these were the same persons who told them that nothing could happen there. So it's all in the will of you, the individual, that you could get things done. So King Peter Bay Hill is one of the major accomplishments on the books, But there are many things that this representative have been doing behind the scene, because I'm not a social media junkie area. I do things quietly behind the scenes. My persons in my electoral district that had to go for heart surgery, that I fund, I assist their kids, I assist the kids. I made oaths to them to make contribution, and I did. Persons that can't afford food stuff that I sent to this, some of them I don't even know that I sent to the village supermarkets that I pay for. I have a running tab. At the end of the month, I take my money, I go to the supermarket owners or the store owners and pay up the bills, because they are persons in need.
What sort of effect does that have on your pocket? Unless your pocket is a bottomless pit.
It takes a real effect on my pocket, but you know that it's all I believe in is by giving you receive. I've grown up with that mantra. And even the football league that I run in Mason Hall and that I part sponsor in Mariah over the last 3 years, I spent $175,000 out of my pocket.
Wow.
To bring the community together, one, and to encourage economic and financial activity within the community. Because some of these same single mothers or single fathers come out in the night, they sell soccer bag, they sneak their chance, they sell a little carib, they sell nuts. It is a burden off the THA. And the kind of money that they're making, and some of them even make so much money that they come and contribute, because on nights I will sponsor drinks and popcorns for kids. And some of these same vendors will buy buckets of ice cream and distribute to the kids. And it's a pride and joy to see the number of kids at halftime out on that field playing. And the families are so good, they're grateful to come out in their numbers. So that's why it's one of the best leagues in Tobago at this point in time, because it brings the community together. I don't ask the community for assistance, because the shop owners in the community, they credit a lot of goods to some of these same persons. Some of them may be bad debt. So I don't want to double dip into these little profit. So I do it out of my pocket. One of the goals was that the Mason Hall Mariah team, one of the teams from those areas could be in the football league. But so far, they have not taken up that challenge of being in the Tobago Football League. So that's one of the disappointment I have, because I'm spending money hoping that there is a goal that sports could be revived in Mason Hall Mariah. But I hope that one day that one of the villages decide that they must enter the TFA Football League. But I'm going to continue supporting whatever endeavors it is to keep the community together.
If you receive the resources right now to do or complete any one project within your electoral district, what would it be?
I would do a lot of home repairs. Brace wall home repairs, because you will surprise how some people are living within my community. I encourage them to access the grant, to come and try to access the grant, but I will do home repairs because it is much needed. But there are some things that have on the drawing board that we hope that will come to fruition very soon, to the benefit not only of the people of Mason, but the people of Tobago. But there are lots of things that we have done. The Lenhan crew, I must say big up to the Lenhan crew this morning, because these are men and women that give up their time, their skill, their monies, because everything we do it out of our pockets. Everywhere you see that we are cutting the grass or fixing a step, or we are about to go and plaster someone's home, it is out of our pockets. And these guys leave their family on Saturday, Sunday, any day of the week that we get the call that, okay, this person needs help. And it is for, I'm seeing that a lot of persons saying that we are only going by who we want. It was aimed to assist single mothers and senior citizens. There's a senior citizen in my area, not too far from my home, that was charged $2,000 to cut their yard. Now they're taking home $3,500 in old age pension.
Oh my God.
So we will go, before we embarked on that project, he got friends to come and do it. But once the yard is going up again, we'll go and do it for free. And these are the things that we are doing.
Taking care of the seniors.
And the single mothers. You can't be a healthy, strong young man in your home and your yard needs cleaning and you can't get a brush cutter to at least help yourself. But the mothers are the ones out there crying. And those are the ones that really need the help. We can't say that we wouldn't come and help you whether you're male, but the focus right now is senior citizen and single mothers.
All right. Now question, if you had a fresh term starting today, what would you do differently or to deliver more effectively?
That's a tough one, yeah. But I guess I would just hunker down on the mandate given to me, because you try to be all inclusive, and some persons don't buy into your vision, don't buy into your dream, but you get the right fit actually to execute some of these mandates that you are given. But I'll just look for, we are lacking some capacity in the space. Look for the persons that could fill that capacity, that could help you execute the mandate you are given by the Chief Secretary or the people of Tobago.
Okay. What grade would you give yourself at this time in terms of your level of delivery, your level of performance, A to F?
What?
A to F. A, B, C, D, E, or F. F is fail.
No, but with the limited resources that I've received, I will give myself a B, because for having the smallest division in the THA, for having 10 administrators in less than 4 years, every time someone comes is a start over. And the fact that I'm a team player, because RIA and to the wider Tobago, everywhere in Tobago needs fixing. I'm a team player. We cannot fix everybody at the same time. I've waited my time. I bide my time. I've waited. I'm playing along with the team. There are lots of things that we want done in the area. I always say Masonol Moria was starved under the PNM for 21 years. 12 years under Mr. Ashrow Jack, and 8 years under Mr. Sheldon Cunningham. I was looking this morning when I got up about 3 o'clock. The only community that doesn't have a multi-purpose center is Masonol Moria. Go through your minds. We have two of the oldest community centers in Tobago.
Is that one of the plans should you be re-elected?
Of course, because I've met with the people since from Mariah, the village council group, the sporting group, and the center, we have outgrown the usefulness of the center. It's on the road, there's no place to park. And we have a plan right now to move the center down to the football field. Build a fire substation down there. Put a heritage site down there so that the heritage festivity, the whole time wedding could be held down at the field.
So it has a home.
There's lots of lands down there that could be used. Building more pavilions down there. There's even plan for a swimming pool down at the Mariah football field.
Because I know there's been a running joke that Miss Noel has no beach.
We gotta get a pool. We gotta get a pool somewhere. But we are even the children in the Adventist church. I pay the pan tutor to go there and teach the children pan. But I do a lot of my works quietly. It's not everything that you show to the public. And that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of representative I am. Some person saying they're not seeing me and I'm dead. You don't have to see me. Persons in the community are feeling me, because they will reach out to me.
You rather they feel you
than they see me.
Than they see you. Feel the effects of what you do.
Because when you see, they're seeing it happening and they don't know. I'm not out there one who running on social media and put up everything. No. If I'm helping you, I'm helping you. I do things quietly. Sometimes my team around me now, the Lennon crew, they were angry with me. You do so much things and people not seeing it. I said, why do I want the world to see it? Because look, we are congratulated worldwide by persons who I don't even know for the work we are doing. I was condemned by the leader of the other party for not running and lending hand to people. But I saw persons in his that he's selected to contest against me going out there lending hand today. They look awkward holding a cutlass. They look like they can't hold a rake properly, but they follow suit. But we lead, others follow.
And I'm glad that you raised that issue here. We see three other persons within your party, throwing their hat into the ring, offering themselves up for nomination. How do you feel about that?
It's a constitutional right to do so. I have no problem. I went into that when no one wanted to do it because they were afraid of losing. And now that the door has been opened, it gives everybody the right to put their hats forward. But may the best man win. But my work speaks for itself. And I don't want to be like kind of condemning person for throwing their hat in the ring. I encourage them to throw. One of the persons who threw their hat in the ring, we had a meeting and I gave her advice because Ria, as I said earlier, next year is 50 years I'm in the politics. I know the ins and outs, I know the pros and cons. And what we need in Tobago is leaders. We are lacking leaders in Tobago. So if you could get people molded, come through the chute, as I did from 1976, somewhere down the road when I step out from this game, where I step out, if I'm not selected, somebody has to take up the mantle. But I'm not afraid of competition because I have done what I could do with the limited resources, as I said. And one of the things I want to let the people of Masonol, Mariah know, especially Masonol, the Adelphi estate on the left-hand side coming into Masonol comprised of 144 acres, valued by the Valuation Department of Trinidad and Tobago at a cost of 30.5 million TT that is under CLICO. In our meeting last week with the Prime Minister and the Executive, I brought it to the attention of the Prime Minister that it needs to be acquired for village expansion in Masonol. There's a lot of historical sites down there. We could do farming, we could do housing, we could do so many things with 144 acres. She immediately turned to the Minister of Lands, Mr. Adam Hussein, and said, get moving on that, because I gave them the package of the valuation that was done by the Valuation Department of Trinidad, what was done by the Senior State Council, the deed and everything like that. And the debt could be written off against CLICO, because CLICO is indebted to the state of $13.4 billion. So once that is done, I hope Minister Saddam Hussein, I spoke to him on Tuesday night in Trinidad, that once it is placed on the cabinet note, he will send us a copy that they're in the process of acquiring that 144 acres for village expansion. People will know that there's a site there that I selected for a fuel station for the north side. Economic activity has to happen on the north side, because if you look at it, the inner cities are dying. Many shops at Broadwood in Mariah are closing down. We have to generate some economic activity in the north. And the north doesn't start in Castara. It starts from Mount Grace, come all the way up.
I want to ask you here very quickly here about the relationship between central government and the THA, particularly your division and the ministry in Trinidad. The working relationship between the ministry and the THA, the division.
It has been 1,000 times better than what we had before of the previous or the PNM government. The relationship is phenomenal now. We won't get it right because the debt to GDP ratio is like 82%. So there's limited funding.
In your opinion, what was the issue under the previous administration?
Because of politicking. And it goes back to the example I gave earlier. How could you, in your conscience, have $20 million to give us to construct homes for Tobagonian, and you held on to it, and then looking to go and do 2 projects in Trinidad? Remember, that is something that's repeated. Because remember, we received an EU grant in the 90s for the link road from Lansome to Charlottesville. That was taken back by the Patrick Manning regime to build the Brian Promenade. So it's not new that Tobago and Tobagonians have to suffer under PNM. There's nothing new. So the relationship is leaps and bounds better. I mean, we could interact. There's no defensive wall put up. We have open discussion, and I'm hoping that only regret I have, Ria, is that upon us assuming office in 2021, December, that the general election in Trinidad was in 2022. And the government changed, because Tobagonians would have benefited. And if they did that to my division, imagine what else that they held back from the people of Tobago. And it's all in an effort to let this dispensation look bad that we cannot deliver, because they know once we put our heads to the task, we'll get it done. Look at Secretary James with that new road. Look at the obstacles PNM people in Tobago are putting. Injunction after injunction stopping. Right now, everybody's lauding Secretary James and this dispensation that they could get from Stumpy to the airport in 5 minutes.
With ease.
With ease. So this is just a fraction, but that is my only regret. But nothing is never too late. God knows the timing of everything. And I know the TPP will win the next election with the central government in office. If there's exploration of the oil and gas there and revenue increases, it will only bode better for the people of Tobago.
You said are you sure that's your only regret, or is there another regret that you have maybe over the 4-year period?
No, I have no regret. Every misstep, every mishaps is a learning process. Because we all went into government as OJTs. We were learning. Some persons will carry around the merry-go-round tree and just dance you. But now that you have a better understanding how government works, you get your feet finally wet. We have an election upon our doors. But there's no regret because you learn, you know that these tricks cannot be tried upon you anymore. Because you understand the system and all the roadblocks put in your place that you could know what to sidestep and exercise your authority when you have to, or try to bring people on board to make sure that the service is delivered. But I don't see anything as only I regret that we didn't have the money to do what is needed for the people of Tobago. But now that we have a chance, we intend to do it. But like I said, I am hoping and praying that before the election date is announced or before we face another election, that Adelphi Estate the process will start to acquire for village expansion, because we have about 70 families living on it that needs regularization. And I was speaking to them directly this morning.
Speak directly.
Directly to you all on Adelphi Estate. I call it Adelphi Estate South on the left-hand side. Relief is coming, and it is coming sooner than you think. That you could get your own deed in your hand so you could face the financial institution to do improvement on your property. And those in my community and other parts of Tobago looking for a place to call home, because Mason-Mora is the fastest growing electoral district. We are the biggest population-wise. And we just had another increase since last election of over 200 persons.
Moving into
Mason. So imagine with the availability of lands, 144 acres of lands in Mason-Mora. And the people, the residents of Mason, the young men and women, could now own a piece of land. We could only sell land at $15 a square foot. The government. So imagine buying 5,000 square feet of land for $75,000. Now we could have men and women in their home to call that their own piece of Tobago, because there's a saying, he who owns the land owns the country. And I want to give people of Mason and Mora that opportunity, and Tobagonians that opportunity to own their own piece of land, to own piece of this paradise. And that way, once we own it, everybody will come together to make this the greatest little island on the planet.
Now, final question here. In fact, what would you like to say to the people of your electoral district at this point, even as we are heading into an election period? Why is YT the best choice?
YT is the best choice because you know YT as a worker. I have your interests at heart. I could do some things better because no one is perfect where communication is concerned, but I like to solve a lot of problems, probably on my own and stuff like that, or with a few people around me. But I think that I've proven my worth. Not everything could have been done in 4 years. As everyone knows, there are some persons who have some personal issues that they didn't get this done. But that could be said for people throughout the whole of Tobago, that they didn't get it done. And I know the urge because they think that because they support the party, that you should be placed in priority. But there are some people who are in worse condition than you. And eventually we will get to you. So I have proven my worth to the people of Mason. I continue to work Mason-Mora. I work for you. I'm always a phone call away. Sometimes I send some of my trusted friends to do whatever is needed to be done out there. I may not always come, but I have the best interests of the persons of Mason-Mora at heart.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for chatting with us and for speaking to the people of Tobago today. Viewers, it was a pleasure, having you join us and having us, in your living rooms for this entire week. We want to thank you so much for being with us, Assemblyman. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you.
All right, and to all the other Assemblymen who were able to be on our program last week, this week, we say thank you. We look forward to a very interesting week next week. Beneath the surface, straight talk, no chaser. And we're going to be ending things off with the Chief Secretary coming up on Friday. Well, viewers, thank you for joining us. Have a great day, a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, and we will see you on Monday. Be blessed. Bye-bye.